Hey everyone, it's Nick here with Nick Tolman Music. It's been a while since we've jumped in here for a top 40 riffs video, but I was just sitting actually working, editing some other videos, and I got a notification from Spotify saying that Imagine Dragons had a new album out. So I pulled it up, started listening, and found a couple songs on there that I thought would be cool to talk about. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about Lonely by Imagine Dragons. Just came out on their new album. It's the second track on the album, and we're going to teach you how to play the main guitar riff in that song. Let's get started. All right, so starting right off, Lonely is in the key of D minor, right? And there's basically four chords that you're going to use. You have a D minor chord, just a standard fingering D minor chord, which if you don't know already is going to be an open D. And then you're going to have the note A here with your second finger on the second fret of the G string. Then you're going to have your third finger on D, third fret of the B string, and your first finger up here on F, first fret of the high E string, right? D minor. The next chord that you're going to play is actually an E minor 7 chord, right? Now, you're not going to need to finger an entire E minor chord because really you need that bass note to be right here on D, or on E, second fret of the D string, right? So for this chord, all I'm going to do is place my second finger here on E, second fret of the D string. And my fourth finger I'm going to place on D, third fret of the B string. All right, so that's our E minor 7 chord that we are going to use for this song. And then we have an F chord, standard fingering F chord. So we're gonna have our third finger on the note F, third fret here on the D string. And then we're gonna have our second finger on the note A, second fret of the G string. We're gonna have our first finger barring across the first fret on the second and first string on the notes C and F. There we go, there's our F chord. And then the last chord that we're gonna use for this song is G minor. And I'm gonna go ahead and finger this as follows. So I'm gonna go ahead and have my third finger up here on the note G. So that's the fifth fret of the D string. And then from there, I'm just gonna bar the top 3 strings with my first finger, right? Top 3 strings. And those notes that we're gonna be playing are B flat, here with our first finger, D with our first finger, and G with our first finger. And there's our G minor. So the 4 chords in a row again are D minor, E minor 7, F, and G minor. Cool. Now, the biggest thing for this one is kind of getting the rhythmic pattern happening, right? So for me, I think it's going to be easiest to play this with your fingers. You could play it with a pick, but kind of get the percussiveness of what's going on, right? That second note, I'm getting it nice and thwappy, you know? Right, so if you take that D minor chord, again, you're gonna pick with your thumb. Here on the left hand, we just have the D minor chord set. But on the right hand, we're gonna pick with the thumb. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pick with my ring finger on the note F up here on the first string. And then just come down with the other 2 fingers. So thumb, ring, middle, index. Cock-a-doom, boom, cock-a-doom, boom, cock-a-doom, boom, cock-a-doom, boom, cock-a-doom. Right? And then from there, it's just a matter of moving up the chords. So again, starting on D minor, moving to that E minor 7, right? Moving to F, And that one actually, from what I'm hearing, doesn't necessarily actually go all the way up to the, it picks it a little bit different. However, you could do the same exact fingering pattern and have it work just fine. Right? A lot of times with those kind of finger picking patterns, the exact notes don't matter as much as just getting the feel, getting the chord happening, right? So you can use that same picking pattern across all the chords and it'll be fine. However, from my ears, when they go to that G minor chord, they're actually not doing the same picking pattern. They're doing something more like thumb, middle, index, thumb. Like that rather than, right? So the whole thing. All right, so there you go. There's the basic guitar riff for Lonely on Imagine Dragons' new album, Mercury Act 1. So far, I've been listening. I think it's a pretty cool album, and I'd love to know what you all think in the comments below, and we'll see y'all next time. Thanks.